He's Marco.
And he is Graham.
Hi everybody.
Hi. Graham, who are you and what brought you here?
So, who I am started a long time ago in Africa. I was born in what was then Zimbabwe, grew up in South Africa, and lived through the final years of apartheid as a system there. And one of the things that taught me more than anything else was the importance of staying hopeful, even if there isn't any obvious reason to be hopeful, and also the importance of dialogue, being able to talk effectively to people who are on a different side of the camp to you. I then went through a period where I worked as a physicist, studied at university in Cape Town in Germany, worked as a research physicist in Germany, Italy, Japan, joined Procter & Gamble, worked with Procter & Gamble in Belgium, and was part of the leadership team for Procter & Gamble in China. One of the things that really sank into me during that period was just how important it is how we design our organizations, how we bring people together to collaborate. And it became more and more clear to me that the biggest difficulties that we had collaborating, at least people had collaborating in teams I was involved with, all centered around who I was or who they were and how we were showing up in collaboration. I also at that point realized towards the end of my time in P&G that we were getting to a phase in our planet where we were having huge challenges. Things like climate change, all of the Millennium Development Goals, ever increasing levels of burnout in organizations, Gallup showing up to 87% disengagement among staff, the high levels of anxiety and depression you're seeing in companies, and at the same time, all of the leaders, managers, executives who realize that they have huge challenges ahead of them and are running out of the ability to come up with the options that they need to adequately address the challenges. That sense of, I'm not able to think big enough to grasp everything that I need to grasp to steer my company or my team from where we are now to where the future demands us to be. And all of that got me to a point where I decided to leave P&G, dedicate myself to doing something that would enable businesses and organizations to really work effectively to create a planet that was worth living on, that would really figure out better ways of collaborating, better ways of creating engagement and harnessing the energy of all of the staff. So I went through a whole phase of understanding organization design, coaching, really expanding, broadening and deepening what I'd learned as a manager in Procter & Gamble. And came to the conclusion, if we're going to do what we need to do at the speed we need to do it at, the standard ways of working, business as usual, just isn't good enough. In particular, top-down coaching to help people develop and change just cannot reach enough people. And most importantly, it's not there right in the instant you need it when you're in some kind of tension with your colleague. We need something that is there in the moment and that is as powerful as a professional coach would be if that professional coach was following you every minute of your working day. Now, developing all of these professional coaches to do that is an impossible task if we're going to reach 7 billion people on the planet. We need to have a way that is peer-to-peer. At the same time, ways of organizing, ways of running businesses like sociocracy, holacracy, lean, agile, Kanban, all of these have been emerging, and all of these start from the same point. There's a tension in the business between the roles, and that tension is used as information to redesign the business, to redesign the roles, to redesign the organization, to learn from and to grow from at a company level. So why not do the same thing for coaching? Develop a complementary way of interacting in companies, equivalent to what sociocracy does for the tasks, or holacracy for the tasks, and do the same thing for people's personal development needs and their interpersonal development needs. That way you can address all of the three core processes in a business simultaneously: the task core process, the group core processes, and the personal core processes. You have ways of using the tension to strengthen and grow everything from the individual through the group through to the organization. That was part of what led me to the point of starting up evolutesix and creating the concept of the evolutesix dojo as a safe place to learn new ways of interacting with others, new ways of interacting with yourself, and new ways of growing as a person. The other part of that was recognizing that what I'm talking about is not just a problem for people in business. It applies to anybody, from a teenager at school trying to figure out what subjects to study, what university to go to, somebody who's just graduated trying to figure out what career to go down. Given that we now have more jobs, more career possibilities than we've ever had before, and the most sought after jobs for somebody graduating are jobs where the entire concept of the job did not exist 10 years ago. So the point where the person started high school, this job did not exist. Take search engine optimization, one of the most sought after jobs in the world today. That did not exist when most of the people who are starting that now were entering high school. So it's no wonder that people at school, in all walks of life, in all stages of life, from retirees through to school leavers, through to school goers, are at a point where they're saying, I'm struggling to grasp the full complexity of the world, and I'm struggling to figure out, who am I in this world? Who am I becoming? And who should I do what for? And that's the heart of the evolutesix dojo and why I got here.